Kayden, long to Bradford City, 2.5 year deal. How pleased are you with that?
Yeah, delighted. For various reasons. It feels like it's been a long time coming. To never have had the opportunity to play here. To play so many games and not come home as such. It's a nice feeling.
You mentioned their return to your hometown club, but what else is it about the project here at Bradford City that excited you?
I mean, you just have to look back the last 6 months, the success the club's had. I've spoken to the gaffer and everyone at the club, and I've said that the club's been crying out for this success for years now. So, I just feel it's the right time for me to come on board and hopefully help and have another successful season and a couple of years ahead.
What's it like for you and your family when you tell me you're going back to Bradford, a place where you started in the academy and signing here at Valley Parade?
Yeah, there was a lot of shock. It's happened fairly quick, to be fair. A lot of shock, and it is emotional. I've been away from home for a long time, and for my family to be able to come and see me now, week in, week out on their doorstep, it's a special feeling.
You mentioned there about finally getting to play on the University of Bradford Stadium pitch. How much does that hunger fuel you to kick on in your career and hopefully get back here?
Yeah, it's always been something that's been in the back of my mind. I've had some unbelievable times over the years at different clubs, to be out there and doing what I do best in front of a lot of friends and family, there'll be no better feeling.
Well, how will that help you settle when you know so many people around you back in an area you're very familiar with?
Yeah, I think straight away I'm at ease, comfortable with my surroundings, and I know what Bradford's got to offer, and hopefully I can show Bradford what I've got to offer.
You touched on there about what you've got to offer. You obviously played over 100 games in both the Championship and League One. How vital will that experience be for the challenges ahead here?
Yeah, I think experience is a massive thing. When I was younger, and you can be a bit naive and not necessarily know what to expect. I think the more games I've played, the more seasons I've done, I like to think that I know what to expect, and I think because of that I can kind of get myself ready for what's to come. So hopefully that'll help me come in and help the team to the best I can.
You mentioned about all the positives you had in your career, all the successes. How much do you think those experiences will help you not only kick on here, but also to share that experience with the other players?
Yeah, I think massively. It's been fairly recent success as well, and at this level too. So I think it's important that when you want to be successful, that you get a team together that's got that winning experience, and if I can pass on some of that to any of the younger lads and anyone in the team around me, then that's what I'm here to do.
You've spoken to the manager before coming in. What was it that he had to do to sell the club to you?
To be honest, it was a really good chat. Listening to him, and I could appreciate his honesty, because he didn't kind of gloss over the fact that there's been a couple of disappointing results recently, but the main thing that he touched on was the success that he's had at the club, and the success that ultimately the squad's had, and where he sees that going and what he wants to build. He wants to continue having success, and that can look different ways, but the main thing is for me to come in and be a part of a team with a winning culture already.
And how good is it to have that clear mind of what's going to happen going forward, and that clear vision from the manager, as well as the belief in yourself?
Yeah, it was a big part. At the stage I am in my career, I told him that I wanted to come somewhere, for the long term, not just for the short term. And I wanted to come somewhere that I think, I can still play a big part in, having success there. So it was definitely a big factor. And once speaking to him, for me it was a no-brainer to get the deal done.
See the stadium behind you. It'll be packed out tomorrow for the visit at Doncaster Rovers. How much are you looking forward to representing the club in front of all those supporters? It was
the first thing that I thought about when I heard that it could happen, and that I was so eager to get it done, get it over the line before obviously the deadline to be involved tomorrow, and walking out, I've, stood in the stands a few times and, on some good days and some bad days, but no, to be on the pitch hopefully tomorrow and, to have that support behind us and, hopefully a successful day.
You played for big clubs as well throughout your career. How much do you think that experience will help you coming here in front of, like I say, 20,000 expectant fans?
Yeah, I think the main thing you say there is expectant. Expectation is something that, I've had for the last, kind of 7.5 years. So yeah, not one that's, unfamiliar with that. And I think probably at my age, you learn to deal with it. When I was a bit younger, I probably struggled a little bit. But yeah, as soon as you learn to deal with it and, don't let it throw you off your game, because, football, things can go well, things can go, bad, and you have to kind of compartmentalize things and just get on with the job in hand, whether, things are going as planned or not. So yeah, being able to manage that expectation is a massive thing, I think.
So at this stage, you create a sort of environment you see yourself thriving in? Yeah,
massively. As soon as, like I said before, I spoke to the gaffer, spoke to everyone at the club, it was definitely a place where, I feel that I can come and add to in the short term, but definitely in the long term as well. I think, the club have obviously got areas that they want to keep improving on, and, I think I can only come in and help with that. So yeah, looking forward to it.